Hello and welcome to my at-home yoga studio. My name's Amy and I'll be here guiding you through a quick hip mobility flow. So for this practice, we'll really be focusing on our hips and not just flexibility, but also range of motion and strength. There's not going to be any props needed for this practice. Of course, if you have any props that you'd like to use, such as a block or a blanket, anything really that's going to help support you, always grab that, feel free. And I don't know if you'll see it on the camera, Pumpkin just came through, my little cat. He always manages to walk through the beginning of these videos. Anyways, got distracted. And with that, we'll just get started right away. So we're gonna get started in a bound angle pose, also known as butterfly pose. I like to grab my toes with both of my hands, and you could just kind of move your hips a little bit, pulsing your knees. And just notice how are your hips feeling today? Maybe they feel a little tight, heavy, or maybe they feel light, open. Just come at it without any judgment. Really just allowing yourself to notice. While our hips definitely can store physical stress from sitting a lot during the day, lack of movement, lack of mobility. Also sometimes, right, there's that emotional component to it. And with that, just notice, is there anything that has been kind of weighing you down, that you've been keeping in? Just taking this time to self-reflect. And then once you're ready, you can kind of stop that movement here, and we're gonna stretch and bring our chest forward. So you're not gonna round through, tucking your chin in, just stretching out like you're gazing out in front of you. Maybe imagine you're looking into a body of water, looking at your reflection, taking this time again to just notice and reflect on how you are feeling in this moment today. Feeling that stretch through your lower back into your hip flexors. And then slowly coming up, we're gonna start in this bear sit position. So bringing your feet down out in front of you. Knees are gonna be about like the width of your shoulders apart. And from here, we're gonna take a position called 90-90, kind of flowing from right to left. So you can start and you can bring your fingertips down out to the side to support you. And you're just gonna bring your torso, your right to the right side, and find yourself facing the right side of your room. Your right shin should be out in front of you in a 90-degree angle, and your left shin should be out also at a 90-degree angle, like so. And then we're gonna slowly come back and go to the other side. So again, fingertips can support you. Start with your left knee, then bring your right, and coming through. Now we're gonna be turning our torso towards the left shin out in front, right shin out to the long edge of your mat. And you can keep moving like this, using your hands as a means of support, still getting a beautiful range of motion there, finding strengthening in your hips. If you want to make this a little more challenging, you can bring your hands to heart center. You have to engage through your core, and you're going to feel your hip flexors activate a little bit more. Moving from left to right once again. Just taking this a few more rounds. And once you're back facing the right side of your mat, I'm just gonna shift back a little bit. That's what happens sometimes when you don't use your hands. You might notice yourself shifting, so just find your way back to your mat. We're gonna forward fold here in this 90-90 position, so you can come forward anywhere, staying up on your palms, coming down to your forearms, or even bringing your forehead to the earth. And just breathe, allowing that stretch into your outer hips. And then from here coming up. So keep your right palm fingertips next to your right knee, and then bring your left hand fingertips, I put them between my right foot and my left leg here. We're gonna strengthen through our left inner hip. So you're gonna inhale, open your left hip up, high pumpkin once again. Exhale, bring it down. We'll do 5 of those, so 4 more. Up, that's 2. Up, 3. Bring it up, 4, and up, 5. You definitely feel that there. And then coming through to the other side, so using your hands or just moving through without them. This time, once again, in your 90-90, coming to that forward fold, palms, forearms, or forehead to the earth. Taking a few breaths here. Stretch in your left outer hip. And then once you're ready, you can come on up, keeping your left fingertips next to your right or left knee, and then bringing your left or right hand, I can't think of my left and right today, your right hand in between your left foot and your right knee, and again, opening your hip up. So inhale, bringing your right hip up this time, exhale, back down. 4 more, up and down, 3, down, 2, down, and 1, down. Such a small range of motion, but you could really feel it. And then come back through center. And from here, I'm just gonna move back on my mat a little bit. Again, when we're transitioning through from our right to left side, coming to side body stretches, you can keep your hands down to support you or activate through your core a little bit more, keeping your hands up off the ground. So I'm gonna come into bringing my right leg extended out in front of me, left foot into the inside of my right knee in this head to knee pose, except for we're not gonna forward fold straight down. We're gonna bring our right forearm to the inside of our right leg and lifting our left arm up and over for a beautiful side body stretch. Make sure your gaze is up towards the ceiling rather than coming down, because you'll find yourself coming in with your left shoulder. You wanna open, feel the expansion through your chest, feeling a stretch along your left side body. And then coming up from here, you're gonna ground your right foot down. I'll say about 2 feet, footsteps out from your left foot, and we're gonna come up and do this 5 times, lifting our hips into this lunge position and back down without our hands. 4 more. 3, 4, and last one, 5. Coming back through and transitioning over to the left side. So you can bring your hands down or extend without using your hands. So this time our right foot's gonna be to the inside of our left leg. We're going to bring our left forearm down and right arm reaches up and over for a side body stretch. Gaze towards the ceiling, making sure your chest is staying open, not rounding forward. And you'll feel the stretch along your right side this time. And then coming back up, we'll take those little lunge drills once again. So grounding your left foot down about 2 steps out from your right. Inhale, up. Exhale, come back down. 4 more, up and down. 3 more, down. Twice more, down. And now extending my left leg out, I'm gonna extend my right leg out as well. We're gonna come into a wide leg forward fold. So from here, you can start to bring your chest forward. Keep your spine extended. Again, we're not gonna round, not quite yet at least. And I like to sometimes bring my hands to kind of support and keep my hips opening through my thighs right here. So I kind of resist them from caving in, and just breathe. And then just round forward for a breath or so. And slowly coming back up. Now this is a little fun transition here. You can come crisscross, bringing your right knee in front of your left and stay on the knife edge of your foot. You can, I like to bring my hands out in front of me for like counterbalance, and we're gonna come and we are going to come to a standing position on our mat. So let's just kind of go through it and I'll talk you through as we go. So you're gonna stand up and then you're going to keep on twisting towards your left and then open. So now your left foot is in front of your right. And then if you come down, you're crisscross the opposite way. Let's do that again. This time we're going to stand up, spinning towards your right, twisting, and back down. And let's just do it one more time for fun. Bring it up, twist to your left. Ta-da. Just kind of playful, fun transition there. Once you're ready, you can come and we're gonna come into a goddess squat. So toes facing out, legs apart, and bringing your knees over your toes, making sure that you can still see your big toes. So your knees are gonna wanna cave in. You wanna open them out. And we're gonna just start with some shoulder dips. So dip one shoulder down and gaze up over the opposite, and then switching to the opposite side. And move at your own pace with this, find what feels good. Once more to each side. And then coming back through, bring your hands to heart center, stay in your goddess squat, and just pulse here. So pulses, feeling that burn. Again, we gotta strengthen. I can hear the floor creaking as I do this. And just a few more. And then extending all the way up, 5-pointed star. And then bringing your feet, toes out in front of you. So our toes were facing to the side. Now they're gonna be parallel to our mat. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. And then from here, I just like to kind of bend into one knee, then the other, swaying a little bit, left to right, releasing. And now we're gonna move into some Skandasana lunges, moving right to left. So you can start, let's start on your right foot. You might wanna just bend into your right knee, fingertips to the earth, and you could stay here, or maybe you bring your hands to heart center. If you wanna go deeper into the range of motion, you can sink your hip down, your right toes are gonna come out to an angle on your mat, left toes lift up. Hands can stay out in front of you or come to heart center like this. And then we're gonna transition to the other side, so you can bring your hands down. And once again, you could stay up, lifted, hands down for support, heart center, or sink your hip back, lifting your right toes up. Again, finding an arm variation that works for you. And then we're gonna transition. So for your transitions, when you go right to left, you can keep your hands grounded on the earth, or just keep your hands up at heart center. Find what works for you. Let's go back right, left, right, left, right, once more left, and then right. Pivot your back foot, ground your left hand down. Nice easy twist here. Gaze towards your right fingertips. Come back into your Skandasana. Do that on your left side. Ground your right hand down. Pivot your back foot. Left arm reaches up, gaze up. Back through. And hands plant down. Come back into your wide leg forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Hands to your hips, slowly come up inch by inch and pivot your toes or heel toe in. We're gonna come down into our yogi squat. So bending through your knees. Now you have a couple options here. You can keep your toes or your heels lifted, I should say. If you do have a prop and you wanna prop it underneath your sit bones, that's a great idea for this pose. I like to find a little bit of movement before I settle into it. And then once you're ready, come into your yogi squat. We're gonna do a fun little mobility drill here too. So just, try your best for this one. Again, it's those little movements that sometimes feel the most, you feel the most engagement with. So from here, you're going to dip your left knee down towards the center. Your torso is gonna turn towards the right and then come back through. Opposite side, right knee comes down, torso goes towards the left and back through. Let's do 2 more on each side. Left knee down, through to center, right knee down, center. Once more, left, center, right, center. Hold here. And 5-point star. And shaking out a little bit here. Let's just kind of move through a standing sequence before we come down into our final hip opening postures. So I'm gonna start on my left side, coming into a warrior 2, gaze over my left fingertips. Inhale, reverse your warrior, left arm reaches up. Exhale, side angle. You can have your left forearm onto your left thigh, right arm reach, or open up, grounding your left palm to the earth. And then coming back up, reverse triangle pose, straighten through your left leg, gaze up towards your left hand. And then cartwheel your arms down, coming to low lunge, bringing your back knee down, feeling a nice stretch through your right hip flexor. And then let's just take it back for half splits for a few breaths. Come back through, pivot that back foot, open back to warrior 2. Straighten your legs and transition to the other side. So bring your right toes towards the back side of your mat, coming into warrior 2 onto the right. Inhale, reverse your warrior, gaze up. Exhale, extended side angle, right forearm can ground down into your right thigh or ground your right palm to the earth, reach your left arm up and overhead. And then coming back through, reverse your triangle, straighten your right leg, gaze up. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, back knee comes down, low lunge, stretching your left hip flexor. And then back to half splits for a breath or so, releasing. Come back through, opening back up into your warrior 2. Straighten both legs, heel toe, feet in, transitioning just through our yogi squat, hands out behind you, sit down, come back into that bear sit. And from here, we'll go into 90-90 onto the right side. You can once again just forward fold here, or if you want to come into half pigeon, you can bring your left foot out behind you, kind of reorient your hips a little bit, make sure they're squared. I like to just check my back leg to make sure I feel all squared and stable, ready to go. Inhale and exhale, releasing to what feels good for you. A few breaths in your sleeping pigeon. And slowly we're gonna come out of it. And come back through to that bear sit, and opposite side. Again, you can stay in your 90-90 forward folding from there. Or if you'd like to come into your pigeon pose, just straighten your right leg out behind you. Again, make sure your hips are squared forward. Inhale to expand, and exhale all the way down. A few breaths here, sleeping pigeon pose. And slowly come back up through center. Let's come back to that bound angle butterfly pose that we did in the beginning. Just shaking it out through our hips, finding pulses in your knees again. And just hold it there, closing your eyes maybe. Notice the difference. How do your hips feel now compared to the beginning of class? Maybe you release something, maybe they feel even just a teeny tiny bit lighter, more expansive. Just take note of however you feel in this moment. And then you can just slowly tuck your chin towards your chest, folding for a breath here. And out. Slowly coming back up. Find any seat that feels good for you. We're gonna close the class. Arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bringing your palms up to your third eye. Honoring yourself for showing up today to doing something good for your mind, your body, and your soul. Take this moment to reflect, and bring peace into your body. Namaste. Thank you so much for doing this quick hip mobility flow with me. Let me know how you like this class down below. If there's any other areas of the body that you'd like to focus on, you can also just let me know in the comment section, and subscribe if you enjoy my videos. Thank you. Bye.